they said God finds a way, right?
Hey,
Well, I'm looking for a miracle.
I
Expecting the impossible.
Shouts out to everybody tuned in. There was like a semblance of a plan to what this cold open was going to be, but because we've been working through technical difficulties off camera, we just doing this live. Today,
boy, who was on Current Affair geeking out? Cause we're doing live.
That was Bill O'Reilly. He said, "F it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
I'll write it, and then we'll do it." I'm sorry. This week, actually, let's do this. There we go. This week, I've been reading up on what do you call yourself? The Swiss Army knife of pro wrestling. We're talking
the Ice Army knife.
The Ice Army. Facts. We're talking almost 3 decades in the game, which is a feat in and of itself. I hope you're still here.
Do you consider yourself an OG, brother Coleman?
That's good.
I'll be that. You know, 27 years up in here. You know, I'm still healthy. Still got my right mind. There's a lot of people that I saw, kids growing up, and now they're adults, and I saw fans turning to wrestlers and all. So I'll accept that. I'll be an OG.
My bad, Cal. Just a quick in and out. So what is your definition of OG?
Good question.
I don't know. They say OG. I have the young people that explain it to me. They say I'm like an uncle. You know what I'm saying? One of the original ones, they call me Uncle Caprice or Pops or whatever like that. And I'm old enough to be most of these cats' daddies. So back in the day, the OG was like an original gangster. It's like one of them old gangsters being gangster no more. So he's one of the guys that talk to the kids. Don't be in the streets like me.
right.
Facts. So me and brother Cal were having a conversation, and I'm telling Cal that I don't know if my definition of OG is different from today's definition of OG. Because what's
your definition?
Like you were saying, the younger cats call you OG. Most of them call you OG because you're older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when I think of OG, Cal was asking me, he was like, "Yo, do you have any OGs?" I said, most of the cats that I look to that's older are more of a father figure than what I would consider an OG. Right. Me, I'm thinking, like you said, I'm more their fathers. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like they pops. They call me pops. They call me uncle. I'm like, right.
Yeah.
So when I think about it, I talked to T-Man about this a lot of times. I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail the conversation.
No.
But we just got up on here.
Yeah.
But when I sit down and have conversations, I kind of base, when I say somebody's older than me, I base it on as if it was high school. If I'm 16 and you 20, we not in the same
But we got in common. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for the person that's 20. I'm thinking the 20-year-old would be my OG because we're in the same time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the difference between a 40-year-old and a 16-year-old,
that's worlds apart.
When we go outside, I see something different. I saw something different than what you're seeing now. Yes, it's somewhat similar, but it's different. So when you say, yeah, I've been through that, I've been through X, Y, and Z, it's a little bit different now. So I would assume that a OG would be somebody that's kind of going through it the same time as me, so we will relate. Because a lot of the times the OG isn't, I wouldn't assume that they were giving you fatherly advice.
So I always
get what I'm saying?
I always thought that OG was meant to impart some sort of like there's a OG as in just the older dude, but then there's an OG as in someone like meant to impart some sort of knowledge. So if you're 16, that 20-year-old can relate to you, but can he give you the game?
He's supposed to be able to direct you.
If he's outside with me, he's been outside longer than I have. Granted, I understand what you're saying. I'm just putting it in the terms that I'm looking at it, because I'm looking at I'm OG for me. Again, I'm older than a lot of cats. OG for me, walking up to Caprice Coleman and saying, "Yeah, peace, OG." I would look at that as disrespect to him.
I don't think you could say that, but because Caprice, you're a wrestling trainer, right? I imagine that you have students who would look to you as an OG. I think that's different than you, Matt, walking up.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. I would assume they would be
different.
They would be the ones who I would consider be the ones who could call him OG, as opposed to you.
Now, this is just a conversation we were having.
Yeah,
I don't mean to.
No, it's funny how that works. So no, it's funny how that works. Does anybody call you OG, Caprice?
That's
OG, Unc, Pops, all that.
Specifically OG though.
Yeah.
What was your reaction the first time somebody called you OG?
I probably looked at somebody and was like, "What does that mean?"
I had the first time somebody called me an OG. I'm like, "Wait, what? Let me look up driving. Like, how old am I?"
I think I'm past the thing where it's like, "Oh, am I old now?" type thing, because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a point where you could try to deny it and all that stuff. I'm healthy. I look good for my age.
Right.
I feel good, and I'm still respected. You know, it's an honor. It's an honor to age. It's an honor to get older. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to still impart in people, man, it's a blessing to me. So I don't take it as an insult. You know what I'm saying? And for people to come up to me and they say that, a lot of times when they say it, they're saying it with respect. Right. You know, and they talk to me and all that. So it's more of a respect type thing. And it makes me, stay in check myself, because I can't be acting like one of these kids, you know what I'm saying? They don't expect me to act the same way they act. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when I open my mouth, they listen. And so whatever I say, it needs to mean something. I just can't be talking, nonsense. So it's a blessing to me. I don't take it for granted. It's kind of like a badge. It's kind of like an honor. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I feel about it.
I actually went through that stage, feeling young in the space, feeling like, but I don't feel young, but I feel like I feel young, but I feel like I'm older regardless, because of the number. And I struggled with that for a good year and a half. And I watched Sex and the City. I don't know if you guys have watched Sex and the City.
Shit is fire.
But she went through this new one, this new iteration. She went through the same thing, just feeling super young, super old in a very young and different space. But then I had to come to terms, like you said, like accepting the fact that every time I walk into the building, people are like, "You're such and such. Oh my God, you look like you're 25." So I had to kind of like just accept it.
Glasses.
Yeah, I was about to say that's some
hey glasses.
So I had to accept that. So I understand that feeling.
Beautiful.
So in the area of being an OG for pro wrestling folks, right? What kind of love is it that you have for a business like pro wrestling, that you're willing to not only OG a lot of the folks that are the future of the game, but actually being willing to bring your actual family into this environment, and we get to see you and little shorty do y'all thing together, and you're giving him that part of you and bringing him that business, or bringing the business to your kid.
I think we all need to have something to pass down, as a legacy, as an art, as a gift, a talent, or whatever it is. And I think you're speaking of my son. He's uber talented, man. He's way more talented than I am. and mostly like microphone wise. He knows how to wrestle, but he's really good on the microphone. He has music on iTunes, on all music platforms, and all. He gets checks in the mail. Like the boy is smart, man. He's in college now, has a job, and he does commentary, he does announcing, is whatever he likes to do. But I in mind had him as a wrestler, and so I brought him up through wrestling and all of that stuff, because I mean he's been wrestling I've been wrestling ever since he was born, way before he was born. And so it's pretty much all he knows. But as he got older, he kind of fell out of love with the ring action, and I felt like I was kind of pushing him, and that's the last thing I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I let him go, and he found music, man, and became like mad dope at it. So I just let him go. And then as he got older, he was like, Dad, I don't hate wrestling, I just love music, and then like I offered him other stuff, and he was like, man, I love to do commentary, I love to do managing or whatever like that. And so I'm like, on, whatever your gift is, let's make room for it. And as long as I'm not forcing it, because I can't live through him, he's got to have his own life too.
Right.
And so yeah, and so he's doing it now, man. And so I'm proud of him, and I'm blessed to have something to be able to pass down, And so the doors that he's able to walk into, and then he's not just walking into them because he's my son. Like, the boy is bad, like he's got it, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of him.
It's amazing. How did you transition from the ring to commentary?
I have no idea.
That's the best. That's the best way.
I promise God, I don't know how it happened. I promise you. I was wrestling, and most of the times I was wrestling, whether it was with Cedric or with the Rebellion or whatever I was with, I was in some type of speaking part. You know what I'm saying? I was mostly the speaker of every faction I was in. And so when the Rebellion broke up, they gave me a talk show, the Coleman's Pulpit. And then like they would every once in a while put me on commentary. And I remember the first time I did commentary, when I came back to the back, the producers were looking at me like, they was like, you're really good at that. And I didn't know I was good. They told me I was. And like, they told me stuff about myself I didn't see. I was just going out there doing my job. But what I realized is I had a frustration with commentary, because for years I would wrestle and I would go back and watch a match, and I felt the commentators were talking about anything but the match. Yeah. And so when I would do commentary, even if I was in a storyline or something, I would try to make it about the people inside the ring and not about myself, and explaining about what's going on inside the ring. And it was kind of like something that I felt like I had to do, because there would be times I would get hurt and I'd go back and watch it and they're talking about something else, and I'm like, we're literally putting our lives on the line, our health on the line. Yep. When we step inside those ropes, and you break somebody's neck and somebody talking about what they're gonna do somewhere, something else. I mean, that's disrespectful, Right. And so I just kind of made that my thing, and it was just something that I did, and I guess it caught on. And as it got more, I got more opportunities. And then there was a time where I was bringing my wrestling gear in a suit, because I didn't know what I was doing. And then like it just kind of migrated to where it was I didn't have to bring my wrestling gear anymore unless I was told to. And so I never quit wrestling. It was never like, okay, I'm not wrestling anymore, I'm doing commentary. It's just I was under an exclusive contract with Ring of Honor, and it was what they were using me, how they were using me. And so I couldn't do anything else. And then when they had an idea to bring me back in the ring for a past versus present type thing, and I said, hey, I would love to be back in the ring, but you got to understand, like, I've been on an exclusive contract for like 4 years. I haven't been wrestling anywhere else, so you're gonna have to give me time to get in shape, or get in ring shape or whatever. And so that's when they said, okay, that's cool. Pick a couple of territories you want to wrestle with or whatever like that, and see what happens. And I started training again, and then as soon as I started training, I ended up landing a training gig. And while I'm training these guys, like, I'm doing the same things they're doing. I'm not a trainer that like sits outside the ring and says, do this, do that, do this. I'm with you, I'm doing it, Right. And while I was doing it, I was like, well, dang, I'm pretty good at this. and so that's kind of where it started being both of them. And so it just kind of migrated from the ring to the announce table, and then from the announce table to the ring, to where I guess I do both.
I wonder because a lot more people been able to see you. I personally been enjoying your work on AEW TV when they've had you on working during the ROH matches. Did you notice like an instant uptick in conversation surrounding you once you started showing up on Dynamites and commentating during live TV on AEW?
Yeah, it's weird because I think I've always been known to some people, but it's always funny the different platforms you go to. It's like people don't know who you are, or they know who you. It's kind of like I'm that album that you bought from an artist, and you bought it for like one song that you heard on the radio.
Yeah.
And then they start playing another song, and you was like, "Oh, that song's dope too. Hold up, I got that song.
Right.
I got that song. You know what I'm saying?" And so then you play. It's kind of like that, where it's like they've had me forever. But then it's like, oh shoot, he got another hit, and so it's kind of like one of those type of things. And this album's been playing for 27 years.
I love it.
No, that's a beautiful thing. No, but I guess we were having a conversation last week about Ring of Honor. I wonder somebody like you who's been in Ring of Honor, who is a part very much, one of the voices of Ring of Honor. What are your thoughts about the future? Is that something you can even speak on? Because I know things. It's an interesting time for ROH right now.
Yeah. It's I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. And I see that Tony Khan has a heart to want to do something with Ring of Honor. I've been around him long enough to know that when he wants to do something, he really wants to do it, and he speaks highly about it. And he really wants to. I think his thing is he wants to make sure it's the right move, and it's not just throwing us somewhere and it sinks something. He's a smart guy, man. Like he's really into wrestling. He's a freaking wrestling historian, and like he could. If he knows you, he knows you. Like he's like one of those. He's like the Rain Man of wrestling. Like he's like Bash to the Beach, 1992, when so and so was going on and this was happening. And so and the match was going.
Sounds like Drip. Sounds like Drip.
I was like, yeah. And he had on a blue suit with a tie. And I was like, I'm sure he did. Like,
right.
Like he's that guy, man, and like he knows like wrestling like that. And he can pull up facts and all of that stuff, man. And that's the way he does it. So like. He has a mind to do right by wrestling, and so by Ring of Honor, and so we just wait to see what happens.
Word.
Brother Caprice, our guy Logan Paul over here, he does that as well. He's extremely.
Yeah. He disappeared.
No, that was on purpose.
On purpose.
Like this is my question to you. We've seen in our lifetime, Logan Paul hasn't been around that long. But in our lifetime, we
saw, OG, settle down.
Well done.
No, we'll move him out. We saw specific events that kind of shook us in our wrestling fandom. We saw Ron Simmons win the title
in Baltimore.
I'm just going off of me. Saw Ron Simmons win the title. I saw Kofi Kingston win the title. And then I saw Ring of Honor on their last pay-per-view during the Shane Taylor Kenny King match. All of Ring of Honor, people that look like me.
Some of them.
Most of them.
No, people that look like me. People that I think are like me.
No calamari.
Came out and saluted each other the moment. I just want to know how you felt for that, to have that happen on the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view and have all of those brothers there in unity. Because I thought it was a huge moment. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, you good. I thought it was dope, man. I thought it was real dope. I thought, like, if you think about it, everybody that was on that was on the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? And how many pay-per-views have you watched when so many of us were on it because for years we've been fighting, showing that, hey, we are different people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't have one of us to represent all of us.
That's right.
You know, and so you got Shane Taylor Promotions, you got Kenny King, you got me doing commentary, you got Cheeseburger, you got SOS, you got Eli Isom, you got all these guys that are totally different, you know, characters represented on one show, and we're showing that solitude, man, that, you know, we can do it. We can be totally different people. And it was a proud moment, man. I had that picture on my Twitter thing for so long, man. I still got it, you know. But it's a proud moment because I don't think it was a race thing, like a Black Power thing. It was kind of like, man, we did it, and it wasn't like just us. It was like our forefathers.
That's right.
You know, when you go from watching wrestling, you talking about Ron Simmons, bro. I'm talking about Rocky King. You know, I grew up watching Rocky King when he wasn't winning matches, and I thought it was the biggest thing ever when he was getting close to it. You know, and he beat like Mr. Wrestling #1 or Mr. 2, and I went to school bragging about that. You know what I'm saying? Because Rocky King won.
Right.
You know, and for me, like Rocky King was like the first wrestler that I felt he looked like somebody that, like one of my family members. He had the Jerry curl and the muscles.
Jerry curl.
Yeah, and I thought he was cool. Yeah, I thought he was cool, man. And he always looked like he was gonna win because they would always give him something to make him like he was gonna win. Then he wouldn't. But like when he was on, man, I was glued. You know. And so it's all those people. So to have somebody, and I mean, there were stars before Rocky King or whatever that were actually good. You got Thunderbolt Patterson and all these guys. But like for me, the era that I grew up in, it's kind of like watching somebody like Rocky King getting opportunities here and there, you know, not really being great, but getting opportunities. And then you get somebody like, you know, Too Cold Scorpio comes in, you know what I'm saying? And then you get, I even like hard work Bobby Walker. Like, I like that dude. You know what I'm saying? See, yeah. And so I could pull back. You feel me?
I just
Then
like
Hard work Bobby Walker sound like he sing gospel.
Hey,
he might have could.
you don't remember
Like-
that dude? Yeah.
Like he
Yes.
tried out for the
Norman-
keynotes and ain't make it.
He wrestled on Saturday night. Then Sunday he's up on the church. You know what I mean? But Rocky King though,
Norman
King.
Simmons. There you go. There you go.
Now he looks
you
like
go.
somebody in my family.
He looks like my uncle.
Hey,
Like my uncle.
This
Shorty
is
barbecue
your granddaddy. Your granddaddy. Your granddaddy.
Yo, that's good, right? So it's funny when you bring up a guy like Rocky King, which is a little even before me. It kind of shows off, you know what I mean, along with your hairline, your agelessness, right?
Did he say the hairline?
Hey, no, he didn't.
I
Stay
don't
here
have
with
that.
us. Stay with us.
Huh?
Yeah, I ain't got that.
Right.
He got a cap for it. The boy in the house with the toboggan on. Talking about
Oh, yeah.
there you go. Where's the
Right.
hairline at?
Yeah, no, ain't none. This is my point though. Is that it shows off your agelessness, right? Like we can't tell. You know what I'm saying? Is he 35? Is he 25? You know what I'm saying?
I'm 40. I'm 45 years old, and I'm proud of it, man. God has been good.
I love it.
Yeah,
So-
I'm 45. I feel good. I look great, man.
Right.
Hey, I can't complain.
So
God has been
and
good to me.
I'm
Facts.
I want to ask, like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? To keep yourself together, but the word on the street is you don't eat food.
Don't eat food.
That's
You've
a
been
yes.
talking to Cedric. You've been
That's a
talking to
yes.
Cedric and Eric.
Talk to
I
everybody.
eat. I do eat. I eat. I'm not picky, but there's some things I just won't eat. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Like
I try not to eat fried food.
Mm.
I don't drink soda.
No.
I don't like sugary.
See, I'm a
stuff.
picky eater, but I eat
I don't
the
like
stuff he's not eating.
Yeah.
just picks to eat the
you
garbage.
know, yeah, and then I don't eat a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't. My problem is, and this is what everybody has figured out, I guess. I don't like being full. I can't stand being full. When I'm full, like I can't move around. I feel tired. I'm sleepy. I'm not productive, and so I avoid being full. And I've learned that the stomach is 15 minutes behind the brain, and so a lot of times when we eating and we feel full, you're about to be real full.
Yeah.
So yeah, for real. So
Yeah.
so when I eat until I feel like all right in my stomach, and then after a while I'm gonna be a little full. You know what I'm saying? So I don't eat a lot at one time because like it's just gonna get there and sit in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? And then your body's gotta digest all that stuff. So I learned you eat smaller meals throughout the day. It works out better in the front and in the end.
God bless you.
Even during Thanksgiving.
I was going there.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
where I was going.
hey, let me tell you something. Thanksgiving is the best meal prep in the world, brother. I be having turkey all the way to turkey salad, turkey sandwiches, all the stuff, bro. I promise you. They be like, y'all gonna take some of this home? But I sure am.
Give me all
I
that.
be putting the turkey leg,
I'm gonna back the truck.
turkey
all of
leg,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Hold
All
on,
right,
do
so-
you-
Turkey leg
go.
with mayonnaise on some bread. What you talking about?
Wait. Go ahead.
How
Cuz.
long can you eat
That was
that food?
That was my question.
Until my nose is crucial.
Mm.
Like if it smell bad, if I'm like my nose will turn stuff off.
Mm.
Like for real. Like I have a easily offended nose.
You can't make it past the weekend.
I
You
wish
can't be
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
You cannot be
I-
Monday
yeah.
talking about y'all still want some of this.
Monday.
Nah.
No,
trying to
wait.
Nah,
kill
I'm
me.
gonna smell it. I'm gonna smell it. Like if it got a twinge to it, I ain't trying to be sick. You know what I mean? But like if it's good, I'm gonna eat it. But like I'm gonna smell it or whatever. But like my nose is like it's crucial.
All
It's
right.
crucial. I was happy when the masks were in because I could talk to anybody. But then when they lifted the mask, my conversations got short. You know,
That is right.
I
forgot about
I
that.
ain't had that much to say
Oh,
people
it's so
anymore.
funny.
I didn't feel like talking to people because the mask kind of
Helped
That's
out.
funny as hell.
So I
yeah,
got-
my nose. Yeah, my nose is crucial, bro.
So I got a couple of questions for you.
Uh-oh.
This or that. Marvel or DC?
Ooh,
Let's put 'em on.
I'm gonna have to go Marvel.
Friends or Seinfeld?
Friends.
Ooh,
This is white wrestling.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about did I write these questions?
yeah, well, yeah. Friends with Seinfeld.
Friends.
I'd rather have a
Living
V8.
single or Seinfeld.
I was getting ready to say Living Single or Martin, but anyway,
That's a good question. Good.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna say Friends just because I'm more familiar with it. But the older I got, I started to get Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had to mature. Like when I was young, I didn't get it. But then, like as I got older and I go back and watch it, I'm like, oh, I get it now. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so yeah,
You could tell the amount of black that you are because you added an S on Seinfeld.
yeah.
You said
Hey,
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Hey,
That's level 500 Negro.
That tell you how faithful I was to watching this. To ask me about, I'm on a Black Wrestling Podcast. Didn't ask
Right.
about Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah. All right.
I was expecting Jake Paul to ask me that question.
I have a question to ask, but I'm waiting till
wait,
I have a question to
He
ask, but I'll
almost
wait.
He's gonna be the one that he gonna be the one to ask me the real question. Why?
Wow.
Wait, surf or turf?
I like seafood.
Soft bottoms or
see.
hard bottoms?
What does that even mean?
Sneakers.
I think he's talking about shoes.
Oh,
think he's
yeah,
talking about
I like
shoes.
sneakers. Hey, but I can rock some hard bottoms, bro.
So could I.
Hey.
I seen you in them suits.
Hey, Coleman got that drip. You feel me?
Hey.
I
TikTok
rock
or
some
Instagram?
Instagram. I'm not good at TikTok.
No, you shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
Still or
It's
sparkling?
like copycatting, man. It's like copycatting people. Say what?
Still or sparkling?
But water?
Yeah.
Water, anything.
Water, wine. Probably still. Because I
Reserve?
like I said, I don't drink a lot of milk. I mean,
Still
soda and stuff like
reserve?
that. You know what I mean?
Did you said still reserve?
The reserve. Say what?
Still reserve?
No, you said still or sparkling.
Right. And
Yeah.
he's saying still
I said
reserve.
still.
He said still
Yeah.
reserve.
Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him.
I was
Man.
Thank you, sir.
That's all the questions you had.
Yep.
I got a question.
I'm at spam or baloney.
Give me the salt. Give me the salt.
Some questions. Unleaded premium. I don't know.
Wait.
Scrapple or hash brown? Scrapple or hash brown?
Oh,
Ford or Chevrolet.
wait, Davis, what was your question for
Cotton or
Davis?
polyester.
It's great.
Got a question.
I'm dead.
What's your question?
Nintendo or Sega?
Thank you.
Wait.
That's an important one. Hold on.
Wait.
That's
Wait.
that's an important one.
Nintendo.
Wait, no, hold on.
I
In
like that.
Tecmo Bowl.
Ooh.
In Tecmo Bowl,
Uh-huh.
who did you use?
I'm a Skins fan. Redskins.
Cut him off. Nah,
Get
you
out
got
of here.
to
Get him out of here.
Nah, you got to
Get
cut
him
him
out
off.
of here, man.
That's when Tecmo Bowl was out, I was a Skins fan. Yeah.
Or is that
That
Doug
you
Williams?
talking
They
about
had
90s,
Doug
yeah.
Williams.
That's Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Doug Williams.
Who's your team now?
And Art Monk.
Well, I live in Charlotte, so I'm a Panthers fan. I support the
It's
home
an
team.
upgrade. It's an upgrade.
All right, Drip.
Yeah.
Drip, what's your
What's your question?
Well, like Cal said earlier, with him being on our AEW and hearing his commentary, there's kind of like that, like
Where's that
different
voice coming
dynamic.
Oh,
Grandmaster B right there in the middle.
It's like that different dynamic in sports commentary. Like not every NFL game has the same commentary group. Like so,
Right.
his insight I think is much needed, especially with the matches he's been calling, which is a lot of like former ROH stars and current AEW stars. So what's a former ROH wrestler versus a current AEW star that you'd like to see happen?
Ooh.
What match would you like to call?
ooh. I want to see Dalton Castle versus Chris Jericho. I think it'd be good.
Okay.
I would love to see Bryan Daniels versus Jonathan Gresham.
Work rate. That's the match I want to see.
Octopus
I
versus
want to
Dragon.
see. Yeah. I would like to see. I'm trying to think.
That's all I want to say.
I really don't know. I can't think about it like that. I want to see the Briscoes versus FTR
Again and again.
until they win.
Yeah.
I think it has to be
Like that.
I think it has to be the Briscoes versus the Lucha Bros, though.
I'm gonna fight you every day. I'm sorry. What now? Lucha Bros, that'd be good. That'd be good.
That's funny. I like
Let's
Capri.
see. I want to get Shane Taylor in there, man. I would put Shane Taylor and Brian Cage.
Ooh.
I just became a matchmaker.
He's the worker.
bro?
Give Caprice the pin.
What else would I do? Man, let me see. Lee Moriarty and Alex Shelley too.
Okay.
I would do that at Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see CM Punk and Samoa Joe again at Ring of Honor.
That would be nice.
And I would love to see. I would put Colt Cabana.
Who?
I don't know. Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana. He said it. You know who Colt Cabana is.
I'm
Who don't
listening.
know who Colt Cabana is?
No, everybody
You know.
knows.
You know. It's good to hear his
Yo,
name. It's good to hear his name.
I rock with Colt. Colt, my
Okay.
dude.
You
I wouldn't be on
supposed to.
commentary if it wasn't for Colt. Colt helped me out. Colt has always been a friend. I was on commentary with Rick Abani, Colt, and me, and Colt Cabana wanted to wrestle, and Colt said, "Caprice, you got it, bruh." And he helped me out, man. I ain't got nothing bad to say about that dude.
I rock
Oh,
with him.
Amazing.
I rock with
Yeah,
him.
he's all right with me. He calls me every now and then, send me stupid texts. But it's him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He that's Colt, man. I love that dude. Let's see. It's hard because like they've mixed everything up. I really feel like AEW has pulled a lot from the Ring of Honor roster and made them their own.
Right.
And so it's kind of hard to like to pull up unless you go way back, Ring of Honor type stuff. So that's a question. It's hard to pull from that other than what I've already said. Yeah, that's a good question though. Who asked that question?
I don't even know.
It was Logan Paul.
The voice of the voices.
Science asked that question. I have one more question.
You all right with me?
I have one more question. So you just recently called Battle Slam with Bonner.
Gerard Bonner.
Yep. And he was very excited when he found out that he was going to call that show with you. Is there anybody that you aspire to call a show for? Like you would like to sit at their desk, or you would like to build the desk with them?
Wait.
Yeah. I've already done it, man. Like I wanted to do with Jim Ross.
Right.
That's like when I hear commentary in my head, it's Jim Ross' voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just excited about Gerard Bonner as he was, because I met Gerard Bonner when I was wrestling, and he was like a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
I met him in church. Like somebody introduced us, like the church. This guy named Juan Murray introduced us and said, "Hey, I got a friend that's a huge wrestling fan, and you're into wrestling." And so we kind of kicked it off like that. Him and two other guys. They had like a podcast. Brandon Clack and I'm pulling a brain fart right now, but like, so we knew each other, and then like I turned around and he's doing commentary, and so I was like, okay, that's what's up. So I'm watching him and his partner like hit it up or whatever like that, and then when I was called for Battle Slam and they said Gerard Bonner, I said, oh, it's on, So I definitely enjoyed my time with him. But yeah, it was JR and Tony Schiavone. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do something with like Jerry the King Lawler. They were kind of like my main, like when I hear commentary in my head, that's who I hear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that would be it. But see, Riccaboni and I, man, like I really feel like Riccaboni and I are the modern day Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. Like that's how I feel like him and I are. Right. And the way we feed off each other, and like how we can take it up, we can take it down, we could be serious, we could be funny, and it's just a vibe that we have that you can't make chemistry. You know what I'm saying? It just has to be. It just has to be.
That's right.
And either you have it or you don't.
You don't. Yep.
So
yeah.
So you mentioned Jim Ross, and of course we know the great Hell in a Cell performance by Jim Ross there. Other than that, like what are some of the great calls that you can remember? Like the stuff that you kind of learned from when you kind of get into your groove as an announcer?
I don't have like Stone Cold, no, but he's got a family, by God, by God. But I never. You got to understand, I never saw myself being a commentator. When I was watching wrestling, I was hearing the commentary, and I just kind of, by God's grace, slid. How many athletes slide into a commentary position? You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at football, you're looking at basketball, baseball, how many athletes get the opportunity that I have? It's rare. You feel me? Yeah. And so I didn't really grow up listening to the commentators. Now my son, he listens to the commentators. You know what I'm saying? But like me, I was watching the wrestling and I was hearing the commentators. You know what I'm saying? I didn't start really paying attention to the commentators until I started wrestling at places that had commentary. And then that's when I was kind of like, dang, what's going on here? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I really feel that things that we have a problem with, we are called to be the answer to. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if we're not there to answer it, then why are we complaining? You know? Right. And so when I had an opportunity to do commentary, I just made up in my mind I wasn't going to be the type of commentary that frustrated me. And so so I can't lie and say, oh, I grew up listening to Gordon Soley. I know all of those voices.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you play something, I can tell you who's doing the commentary. you know, but I never was like, I never grew up studying commentary. That's a gift from God, man. And it's not even just, I don't even think I do commentary like anybody else, man. I'm just calling the action. I'm talking about what's going on inside the ring. I'm telling a story. I'm painting a picture, man. Like the coloring book's already made. I'm just putting the color to it, you know? And that's the way I feel about it, man. I'm painting that picture.
Oh, that's a beautiful,
definitely art. Sorry.
I was gonna say that's a beautiful thing. I will also say this: we gotta, we could be here for another hour. I imagine we got a whole show to get to, Mr. Coleman.
Y'all told me 8 o'clock, had me sitting in the queue till 11:30, and then the tech stuff didn't work right. Then you open up, got Nas, Vanilla Ice, Nas, and Martin, and Little Single, and all that on there with the background. And then you gonna have me on for 20 minutes and tell me about it. Okay,
hey.
That's cool. Hey, I can rock. I can go. We good.
Hold on. Hey,
we're running out of time, folks.
No, wait. If
The tape machines are rolling.
Hey, if you're allowed to do an Extreme Rules preview prediction with us, you can stay the whole show.
Yeah.
Extreme Rules for this. Nah.
Yeah, that's that.
That's what y'all got going on.
He said
I don't know right there. I don't know why it sound like Walter C right there.
No more science fields questions.
No more. This was the Seinfeld segment, and then we got to go on to the rest. Like I said, I don't want to get you in trouble.
What's the deal with
the ops?
He said, "Hold on,
hey.
Is that what y'all got going on right now?" That's what this
outta
operation about. Y'all go
Get out.
Hey,
Extreme
check this out.
Rules?
I know y'all got a show to do. I just want to say I appreciate y'all having me on here. Much love, much success. You know, I appreciate y'all. This is dope. I appreciate the invitation. I want y'all to keep doing it, keep bringing people on, and keep being y'all, man. I love y'all. All right, y'all stay safe.
Thank you.
And Jesus loves you too. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Take care, man. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Hey, invite me back. I'll be here, man.
Yep.
That's what's up.
You always invited back.
Remember, you said it.
Plastic or paper?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Why hit you with the face that Boozy made when he seen the fake Boozy this week? When he looked over, he said,
That's crazy.